Hello, this is Vivian at Cupcake. This is a quick video demonstration of how to use our new cupcake art mats, which we're selling on our website at www.lebocake.com. They're proving very popular. Mainly people are using them for cakes and fondant work, but I've also found that I like to use them for cookies, and I use them in two different ways, which I will show you. Okay, the first I'm going to show you how to make a nice design using these and to cover your cupcakes. So I'm starting off with some fondant, which I've toughened up just a little bit just to make it less sticky. So I've added a pinch of Tylo powder, but basically if you add something like half a teaspoon per 250 grams of fondant, then you'll get a slightly toughened fondant, which works quite well. Okay, so I'm going to roll this out. Don't want it too thin because I'm going to press down with one of the embossing mats and emboss a pattern, and obviously as you press down it makes it thinner. So let's go with one of the designs. Okay, let's try this one. What I'm going to do, just to make it easier to lift it off the fondant, is use a tiny amount of white vegetable fat and just lightly rub it over the mat, very small amount. Okay, so press down with your mat, take your rolling pin, roll over firmly, and just peel off, and you just have a really nice embossed piece of fondant. And take your cookie cutter, decide which part of the design you want to cut out. I'm going to go for some of the flower and some of the smaller ones. Take that off, and I just have a flat iced cupcake here, so I'm just going to put this straight onto it, straight on top of the buttercream, so it fits. That's all it needs. If you want to enhance the pattern that's on there, you can go over it either with some luster powder just on its own, edible luster powder, and basically the luster powder will catch the raised bits really nicely, and because these are deep embossing mats, because they've been made deep enough, the luster powder doesn't touch the sunken bits, so it looks like it really brings out the lace effect of them. I'm going to show you a way that you can use using a white edible powder. This one is called Super White. And it's just by Sugar Flare Colours. I get this from the Sugarsmith, which is my local cake decorating shop, but it's widely available on the internet. Okay, I've mixed a tiny bit of the Super White with a bit of rejuvenating liquid. You can also use vodka if you want to just make up a fairly thick white paint. And then I'm going to take my cake, taking quite a lot off of the brush, you don't want it too runny. I'm going to move quickly from one side to the other all over the design like this. Okay, just like this. And can you see it just catches the raised bits really nicely, and it actually looks like lace. So you can have any bottom colour that you want to, but using white it really looks like white lace. So that's how to do a cupcake in a really pretty way. Another thing that you can use these for, and I use them for quite a lot now, is to actually emboss the cookie dough. So you just take cookie dough that's raw before you bake it, roll out your cookie dough, press whichever mat, whichever design you choose down onto your cookie dough very firmly, peel it off, it doesn't stick at all, and then bake them. And if you bake them just, use a normal sugar cookie recipe that doesn't spread, you just get a really nice cookie. You can also go over these really simply as well, just to make them stand out. Here I just have an edible bronze coloured paint, and again I'm going to take most of it off the brush, take the cookie, and just from one side to the other, keeping the brush laying down, almost laying down flat, just work over the whole cookie until it's covered. And that's all it needs, and you get a fantastic cookie. If you wanted to, you could put a tiny little butterfly or a flower or something on there just to enhance it, or you can leave it plain. The third way that I like to use these, I'm just going to take a piece of lighter coloured fondant. So roll out your fondant. Again, this has been slightly pre-toughened with a bit of Tylo powder, so it's less sticky. I'm choosing another design. I'm just going to rub lightly over with a bit of white vegetable fat. Press onto the fondant. Press down, roll over. Get it off. It's a nice design. And then I'm going to use a heart cutter this time, so I want it to go on top of a heart cookie. Press down. Then taking the heart cookie, which I've already baked, I'm just going to put a tiny bit of edible glue over the top of it. Take my fondant, put that straight onto my cookie, which will just stay down, and that looks beautiful on its own. But if I want to enhance that with either a white lace effect or a gold effect, I can go over it again. So I'm going to show you once again how I would just lightly go over the top of this with some edible luster powder. Okay, so here we go. So just from one side to the other, really simply. Okay, one side to the other, really simply, and you have a beautiful cookie. So there's 3 different ways that I use the cupcake art mats to make fantastic cakes and cookies. Okay, they're available at Le Beau Cake. Thanks for watching. I really hope that anyone that's bought them already, I hope it helps you to make even more incredible things. Thank you, bye.